Guys, it's hella lit.
Welcome to Colombia!
Yeah! Right now. Guys, I know a lot of you guys been asking me a question like, what should you do when you come to the country of Colombia? And so I thought I would share with you guys some of my memorable moments in this country. I'm in the city of Barranquilla, Colombia during its lockdown currently. If you're watching this video afterwards, this video was filmed in 2020. So I think you know what happened in 2020. But hopefully you're watching this video and you're now allowed to travel to this country and enjoy some of the memorable moments I had and possibly make your own memorable moments. Let me sit down. All right, guys, we'll give this a chance. I really don't know how long this video is gonna be, but everything I talk about in this video, for the most part, is gonna be in the description. So if you're looking for like what video, because I'm gonna share with you a couple of videos, you'll find those in the description, all right? We'll start off on what happened to me a year and a half ago, where I decided I would go to a strip called La Setenta in the city of Medellin, Colombia. Okay, the story goes, I was supposed to be going there to meet a friend, and me and him were going to walk the strip, but that didn't happen. I ended up going there and missing him because of daylight savings time. It was a weird situation. Like missing him for an hour. He was there early and left. So I ended up walking the strip and ended up meeting two local people there. Okay, one who was a doctor, the woman was a doctor, and a guy that was an engineer, and they were able to show me around that area, which was really cool. They brought me to two different salsa clubs. I felt like, yes, I'm finally getting the real stuff, because I spent a lot of time in Poblado area. And so if you go to Poblado area, it's really catered to tourism. Don't get me wrong, a lot of Colombians, if it's their birthday, that's the spot they want to go to. It's a little bit more expensive compared to other spots in the city of Medellin. But I wanted to see the more authentic, the more, more Latin side of Colombia, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's not gonna be glitz and glamour. But I went over there and it was really interesting to see. They brought me to some club that was like underneath the basement, and man, that club was so congested and hot. It was really sweaty in there, but it was like nobody cared. The floor, I felt like the floor was kind of slippery for how hot and how congested the place was. And to be honest, from what I heard, it was not really packed that day. That's what the woman told me. And so we ended up going to another club. It was one of the most cool experience I've ever had. So I have to urge people, if you are coming to Colombia, or if you're avid traveler and you always come over here, it's good to meet good people. I met those people. I never met them before, but they came off as really good people, just trying to show me a good area. And so that was cool. I will say, guys, just be careful. Don't drink from anybody's hands or anything. This is, I just want to say that because I don't want to hear no horror stories like, Ace, I tried to do it and I end up getting robbed or something. No, okay, you'll know who you're dealing with, okay? You'll know who you're dealing with, because if they're trying to offer you drinks off the top or something like that, we're not friendly like that, you know what I'm saying? The conversations we had, we were talking about social issues in Colombia, and I don't feel comfortable talking about that, but they were able to talk to me about how they feel on social issues. Also, they were talking about the different types of music people listen to, different ways they dance, and the lady had no problem telling me about how thick women are from Cali. You know what I mean? So yeah, it was a good thing. It's good conversations. You know what I'm saying? Make friends, good friends. Another memorable moment happened this year, actually, when I went to Playa Blanca. Okay, Playa Blanca was a beautiful beach I went to. There's a fly here, excuse me. When I'm trying to film, they want to come get my attention. Come on, fly. You can fly out or you can get chopped up. One or the other. Well, I got a couple tricks for you. Alright? Now me? Yeah, there you go. There you go. You gotta get chopped up. You gotta get chopped up. I told you. So, I'm back, guys. So my next memorable moment I had, and this is probably for people who are on a budget, is my first time in a hostel here in Colombia. I end up going to a hostel in Cartagena. I won't tell you where to stay, guys. You gotta look at reviews, but I ended up finding a cool place for $11. I was staying close to the wall city. There was like a clock tower area. It's like really close to a clock tower. So I ended up staying there. The hostel was really nice. There was a jacuzzi on top if you wanted to jump in. I didn't do it. I didn't have enough time. I would have done it. I do recommend people trying to stay at hostels, because you meet some interesting people who are broke, just trying to find the cheapest, funnest time. And I like being around people who just want to have fun and not try to outdo things, if you know what I mean. So they were really cool to hang out with. Shout out to backpackers and hostel stayers. Y'all cool with me in my book. And they were able to set up a tour for me, the hostel, to go to Playa Blanca Beach for $11. Which was really cool. I love the fact that they were able to bring me to somewhere real far. I made a video about your do's and don'ts. It's really packed with some good information. Playa Blanca, man, that water was so beautiful and so clear. When I jumped in the water, it was really sandy, guys. So be prepared for that. It was clear, but it was really sandy because I guess it's because there's a lot of people in the water. If you go to the ends, there are not as much people, so you can get a little privacy. One thing I will say about Cartagena, and this is, I think, for the whole city, just be prepared for the haggling. There will be some haggling. There will be some people following you, trying to haggle you to death. So just be prepared for that type of activity. You just keep telling them no, and eventually they will get it. When I was at the beach, I got to meet people from all over. I met some women from Argentina. I guess they were like a backpacking couple. I'm from Miami, but what was so memorable about Playa Blanca was because it was so beautiful. The waves, it was just a perfect beach to me, but it was packed. But it was really beautiful, and I recommend anybody, if you are going to Cartagena, go there. All right, so since we're on the topic of Cartagena, so it's for those who are going to Cartagena, one of my memorable moments was last year when I went to the mud volcano. It's not too far from Cartagena. It's like between Cartagena and the city I'm in right now, which is Barranquilla. If you haven't seen that video, it's my most popular video ever as of date, almost at 2 million views. I think the mud volcano was one of the weirdest things I've done here in Colombia, but it was very fun. If you Google this place, it says it's an active mud volcano. I don't understand what the active part about it is, but once you go over there, you get to the top of the mud volcano, it's filled with mud. And it was cool, just jumping in that mud felt like I was floating on some jello. It was really cool. And what was interesting is they give mud massages there. And so some of the guys were like, the workers that do the massage, I felt like they had some of the best jobs in the world massaging, right? For me, I didn't want a massage. However, it was a cool experience, and so I do recommend people going to that. They said the mud is supposed to be really good for your pains, your aches, and also good for your skin. And there was a lady that actually like scraped all the excess mud that was on my body and put it on her face. They say it's supposed to be good for the skin, so you know, I mean, I guess she wanted to get those minerals. Plus, I do got golden skin. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. They're good. Let's go. Another memorable moment I had is last year when I went to go visit a friend of mine who lives in the city of Guatapé. I do recommend anybody who is traveling to the city of Medellin to take a trip to the Guatapé area. It was really beautiful. Now, there's a couple of options of getting there from the city. You can take a city bus, which could be around like $5 to $6 to get there, or you could pay a little bit higher and go on a tour bus. All right, so I would recommend those who are pressed for time take the tour bus. But if you are a backpacker or you are a travel budgeter who's planning on being in Colombia for a good amount of time and not really in a rush, take the city bus. The city bus is real cheap. Medellin has a bus terminal, like a Greyhound terminal, but they have a bus terminal. You just tell the taxi, look, I want to go on the bus terminal, and they can bring you there. And it could be a real cheap price, and boom, you're on your way to Guatapé. Simple as that. Why I like going to Guatapé, especially if you spend a lot of time in Medellin, is because of the scenery, okay? Medellin is the second largest city in Colombia and can be very congested when it comes to traffic. So there's a lot of smog in the air. So when you head to Guatapé, all of that smog disappears. All of that smog disappears, and you're just going through the countryside, just seeing some beautiful scenery. It is really relaxing. And then if you spend a couple of days in Guatapé, they have plenty of hotels in that area. It's a cool place to go to. I recommend if you are a couple or backpackers to spend some days in Guatapé. It's not too wild of a nightlife. They do have a nightlife at night though, so you can get your little jiggy on, all right? People like to go to Guatapé because of the building structures and the way everything is painted. It's really beautiful, so enjoy your time there. For me, like I said, I was hanging out with my boy. He was staying at the finca. There are some hotels that are next to the finca areas, next to nice, beautiful landscape. So I do recommend you staying in one of those areas. Oh my gosh, you will fall in love with the countryside of Medellin, Colombia. All right, guys. Oh, I can see him now. I'm closing my eyes. I might go back there this year. Another memorable place I could recommend people to go to is the Waterpark. I went to a water park in Medellin, Colombia, and I do recommend people who are traveling, couples, families, friends. Let's say you're coming with your kids and everything to meet the whole family. I do recommend planning something and going to that water park. It was really cheap. I think it was $5. Like, I think everything I did was around $11. Nothing more than $20. I don't remember paying $20 for anything, but for some alcohol. The water park was like maybe 30 minutes. I want to say like 30 minutes away from the city of Medellin. It's not too far. I would recommend, if you do it, go early in the morning, try to beat the traffic. And once you get over there, man, enjoy your time. We end up getting there like an hour and a half before they shut down. We did have time, but I had to hustle and film. They have like 2 different slides you could jump in, and then one big pool area. But it is really cool. What I loved about the area was its scenery. The scenery was really awesome. Just that mountain backdrop was like, wow. Before I go into some other cities, you know I have to mention Barranquilla, Colombia. Man, I had some amazing times here in this city. And I know you've seen them, but from a tourism aspect, I would say there's a couple of things that you might want to get yourself into. This is the biggest event you can go to in Colombia, period. It happens here in this city. All right, there's nothing bigger than this. My memorable moment was my first time coming to the city for the carnival. All right, guys, and as you guys know, that's why I'm actually here. This still partying after the carnival, right? Pretty much every year, guys, around February, March time, there is a carnival here. If you are new to my channel, and the carnival is insane. Now, I will compare it to Brazil because Brazil is the biggest carnival in the world, and this one is the second biggest. And I will let you know, guys, you will have so much fun here. It is insane the fun that you can have here in Barranquilla, Colombia. And not only that, everything is cheaper compared to going to Brazil. So like if you had to make a choice of coming here or going to Brazil, I say, look, just look at your options, look at your budget, and go with what makes sense. I have done the carnival 2 times in a row, and I guarantee you, you will have such an amazing time. It is so much people that come out here from different parts of the world just to party, just to have a great time, just to enjoy the party lifestyle. style. All right, is if you've seen some of my videos, I made sure I had fun. I will say that is a event. So if you missed the event, could you still come to this city? Absolutely. So let's talk about the tourist destination. The longest river in Colombia starts here in the city of Barranquilla, Colombia, right? And right at the opening, there is an area you can go to where the river meets the ocean, and it's a very thin line in between that spot. And so that spot was really interesting for me to go to because I've never seen that before, and it was kind of weird, but it's a good place to take pictures if you are trying to take pictures. And pretty much they're gonna put you on some small little train cart, and then they're gonna bring you to like a fishing area, fishing village, small little fishing village, and then you'll just walk through a bunch of rocks. I do recommend, guys, if you're gonna do this trip, make sure you wear some good walking shoes. Do not wear sandals because you're going to the beach. Do not wear the sandals, guys. If you're gonna put the sandals on, have sandals in your bag, but make sure you have some nice walking shoes because you're gonna be walking over some jagged rocks. If you want to get to the edge where the river meets the ocean, you're gonna need some good walking shoes. Once you get over there, you might be lucky to see guys fishing. As a matter of fact, I was there with my landlord and she was able to purchase some fish from one of the guys. Now, one of the reasons why Barranquilla is interesting because they have one of my favorite clubs here in Colombia. Frogs Club, all right? Not Senior Frogs, it's called Frogs Club. And let me tell you guys, that club is popping from, I think it starts Thursday to Sunday. Any day you go over there, it is popping. It's an upscale club. However, it's very cheap. If you haven't seen my video where I pay like $20 to go to the club, yes, it's a very cheap club, very energetic, and it's packed with a bunch of beautiful women. So if you are a single guy traveling, ching-ching, 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 ching-ching. Obviously, I've had some amazing moments here in Barranquilla. For those who are actually planning on moving to Colombia, make sure you check out my Barranquilla playlist. That way you can see all the other stuff, all right? Now let's talk about Cali, Colombia. One of my memorable moments there was going to a salsa club. We were in Cali, the capital of salsa music. So it's like, yo, all right, now you with the big boys. So we end up going to one of the famous clubs in Cali, Colombia, and I was able to see how people function over there. Me and my friends ended up getting a bottle. We enjoyed the night, and it was amazing. One thing I regret I didn't do was dance in that club. Like literally, I was filming and everything, but I didn't find time to dance with everybody. I don't know what was wrong with me. I didn't dance with anybody, and there was a lot of women hanging out just waiting for the dance, but I didn't do it. I kind of regret that, but I make up for it later. Once I was in Cali, I realized, man, one of my memorable moments of Cali is just seeing how the women are built over there. So the women are very thick. Being in Cali reminded me of being in Atlanta in some aspect because I saw a lot more Afro-Colombian people there. Not to say the other places I weren't there, but like there were a lot there. Another memorable moment what I had in Colombia is when I went to the Boulevard del Rio. Now, when you get to the Boulevard del Rio, it is a very beautiful place, especially if you go in front of that church. I forgot the name of the church. You can't miss it. The Boulevard del Rio is a long strip that is elevated over a river. I guess they built it over a river. It's a cool place to see, so you'll see all these type of businesses in the daytime selling tourist trinkets and everything. It's a perfect place to go for sightseeing. From the sugarcane water you can drink, from the beautiful sightseeing of the church. There's also an interesting park called the Park of Poets where people go over there just to get official paper typed into. So make sure you check that out. But I was there for a particular reason. For those who don't know, I am Haitian American, and I actually found out the city of Cali, Colombia was honoring one of the Haitian presidents. So I made sure I went over there to pay my respects and create a video, because you know I gotta represent where this flag came from. One of the favorite best moments I've ever had in Cali, Colombia was going to a club called Living, all right? I was with my friend Andre from Love Crossing Borders, and it was our first time, both me and his first time going to that club. We found it by mistake, and man, For me, I had loved that club for just the sheer ambiance of the club, because it's a very upscale club. However, the prices of drinks are really cheap and manageable. And it's like, look, when you go to Colombia, you go to make sure you have a good time. And you want to make sure that your money does well. Cali, Colombia is a very cheap place. I think 2-3 years ago, Forbes voted Cali, Colombia as the second or number one cheapest place to live in the world. I think they rated that based off of infrastructure and, you know, functional for people. So I went to that club, me and Andre, and man, we had a great time hanging out, and I end up making it up. I end up dancing with somebody. I didn't know how to dance well, but I ended up going back to that place again, and I had brought me a date. I ended up dancing with her, and she was really a good teacher. Another special moment for me was actually going to see the Statue of Christ in Cali, Colombia. It is a major tourist destination, and it's a very special moment. If you are in the city of Cali, Colombia, you should give yourself a chance and go see the statue. Without a doubt. That was one of my memorable moments, because I ended up going there with a taxi driver, and me and him ended up bonding at the end of the trip. That was kind of interesting. It was weird, but we bonded at the end of the trip. So shout out to the taxi driver. I think I saved this one for last on purpose. The day I left the States and got on a plane to start my YouTube journey in Colombia. I think that moment right there is probably going to be the most memorable moment I will ever have of Colombia. Giving Colombia a chance to learn its culture. I think that is going to be my most memorable moment ever. I'm so glad I filmed that. I recommend everybody to watch that video. To be honest with you guys, that video is probably one of my most inspirational videos I've ever made. I don't think I could do better than that, because it's raw, it's real. The editing is not good at all, but man, it still gets me right here when I watch it. Hope you enjoyed this long video. I don't know how long this video is, but make sure you share with your friends. Please, I would greatly appreciate that. We hit 60. Let's see if we can get to 61,000 subscribers, brick by brick. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll leave the video I'm talking about at the end. Go watch that video. It's a part of a 29 series of me starting my trip in Colombia. All right, the editing is not good, but the story is golden and platinum. All right, so watch that. Watch it just for the story, if anything. Hope this video gives you an insight of who I am. And just to let you know, more is on the way. I'm planning to make some moves in a couple of days. If you've seen this video like weeks later, yo, what's up with you? Or months or years later, yo, shout out to you. Thanks for watching. And yeah, man, that's it. Subscribe it so you can see other videos of me, okay? Watch more videos of me. Now watch this video of me going to Colombia to move there for 3 months. Watch it. It's not good editing, but it's gonna inspire you. All right, yo.